Dear viewers, a very warm welcome to this international online semester. In this online semester I will explain you how to combine an instantaneous water heater with preheated water. Before we start with the topic, a short introduction of myself. I'm Lauren, your trainer for today. I'm a technical trainer here at our headquarters in Holzminden, and I do this for national and international business. I'm 23 years old and since nearly 5 years at Stiebel, I'm an electrical engineer and an expert of the construction of heat pumps according to a German standard and a certified live online trainer. The agenda for today: where can you find the documents for this online semester? I will explain you a bit more in detail because it's one of the first ones. The use cases: where could we use, for example, the combination of preheated water and instantaneous water heaters? Some requirements, some variants we have, because there are two different opportunities. You have to combine the instantaneous water heaters with preheated water, and then we will summarize this, and then we are nearly at the end. Number 1. Where can you find the documents for this online semester? We started the SharePoint with the documents for the international online semester. You can click here on the link and then you will send us a request to join the SharePoint, or in the invitation email where you found also the link to this video, you can click on the link where we say you can be invited to the SharePoint, and then you will send us a request and then you will be part of this SharePoint. You can find the documents in this tab here, and then there you will find the folder 2020, for example, and then with the month, and there are all documents, the handout, and also the presentation. Before we start, one advice from my side: please take care that this is just for internal use, and please do not share this video with some third persons. Number 2, the use cases. A classic example is the combination with the solar thermal system. You normally use a solar thermal system to heat up the domestic hot water, but now the weather is not good and the yield of the solar thermal system is not enough. For example, today we are here at the 20th July 2020 here in Holzminden, and when we use at the moment the solar thermal system to heat up the domestic hot water, we can't do this because it's a very bad weather situation here, and then it could be quite useful to combine this, for example, with an instantaneous water heater, because you don't have to start the normal heat device for your house, for example, so you can just use the instantaneous water heaters. So, and this is quite easy in general. The following applies: you can use the instantaneous water heater in combination with preheated water wherever is a risk that the quantity of provided by the storage tank will not be enough. So this is quite easy. For example, you combine this with the WWK or with the SHZ, for example, the electrical storage, or whatever, or any other storage system. It doesn't matter. So you can combine whatever you want to do, and when you think, okay, there could be a risk that the quantity isn't enough, then you can combine this. Or another big opportunity is you installed last year, for example, a WWK 200, and then the family gets one child more, for example, or the mother of the parents have had to move in the house, whatever. So you need more domestic hot water than you thought about in the past. And then you can use also the instantaneous water heater to retrofit this and to increase the quantity of domestic hot water. This is quite possible. Two other opportunities to use the instantaneous water heater in combination with the domestic hot water storage tank are here. So the first one is to use the instantaneous water heater instead of a circulation pipe. So imagine the following. You install a domestic hot water heat pump, for example our IWH, in the basement, and you have a shower on the second floor. So the way between the storage and the shower is quite long. What are you doing now? Normally you install a circulation pipe like this one. What is the benefit about this? You have immediately domestic hot water on your draw off point when you would like to shower. What is the big disadvantage about this? You have a lot of energy losses in reason of the circulation line. A great solution for this could be that you install nearly to your shower in the second floor an instantaneous water heater instead of the circulation pipe. What does this instantaneous water heater do? This one heats up the water until the warm water from the storage tank arrived on your draw off point. So you have also immediately domestic hot water, like you have with the circulation pipe, but without the losses of the circulation pipe. And this is quite smart to do this. Please notice that there are some points you have to think about. I will explain you later on point 4 when we talk about installation of instantaneous water heater in series to the domestic hot water storage tank. Another way is to use the instantaneous water heater itself as a preheater. I know we talked today about the point when we install the instantaneous water heater after the hot water tank. It doesn't matter if this is gas, electric, a WWK, it doesn't matter in this case. But you can also use the water heater in the cold water inlet. Why this is a smart move? Because in the flow principle, it's faster to heat up the water by the instantaneous water heater instead of heating up by the hot water tank. The guys in the USA are doing this, and they show the amount of domestic hot water in their cases. So if you would like to have more detailed information about this, I put you a link to this in the handout, and then just have a look there. But it's the same case, like to install it in series after the tank, like when we do this before the tank. This is quite cool. Number 3. There are some requirements you have to think about, and I will show you first of all the 3 most important general requirements when we talk about preheated water in combination with our instantaneous water heaters. And then I will show you, okay, what devices are possible to use and what not. And which not, sorry. First of all, extremely easy, important. It is not permitted to install a circulation pipe in the hot water line, because otherwise, in the worst case, the instantaneous water heater would run all day. The hot water circulates, then it cools down, and then we go back again to the instantaneous water heater, for example, and then we have to heat it up again, and this again and again and again. And this is not a good deal, because you will threw away a lot of energy, and this is not the idea of this. The second extremely important point is the maximum inlet temperature of the instantaneous water heater is 70 degrees. Because at higher temperatures, the safety temperature limiter of the instantaneous water heater would switch on, because there is a limit of the inlet temperature, and if this switched on, the instantaneous water heater doesn't work anymore. Please note that the instantaneous water heater can only reheat water with a maximum inlet temperature of 55 degrees, because we can just heat up the water up to 60 degrees with our instantaneous water heater, and if you have a higher inlet temperature, it doesn't work anymore to heat up the water again. Of course, when you set it the temperature of the instantaneous water heater, like we did here, for example, on the picture, up to 43 degrees, and the water flows in with 46 degrees, we do nothing. So there will be no heated up from the instantaneous water heater. Just when the inlet temperature is less than the set temperature, but with a maximum inlet temperature of 55 degrees. And the third point, quite easy, not every instantaneous water heater is suitable to work with preheated water, and you have to choose the correct model. I will give you on the next two slides an idea which devices are possible to combine with preheated water, so that this is easier for you to choose the correct solution. Here we have the most common instantaneous water heaters on the European market, or on the German market, it's the better way to say. And so you see here the type of instantaneous water heater, and then you see here suitable for preheated water, and if there is a mark, so it fits. What could you see? It's not possible to work with preheated water in the mini instantaneous water heater. It's possible to work with the 3-phase compact unit, so with the 3-phase DCE range. And it's possible to work with the plus and premium instantaneous water heaters and with the big 3-phase units. And also, of course, the new DHE is also possible to work with preheated water. It's at the moment not possible to work with the HDBE and the DHB-ST. Then we have also a range of instantaneous water heater new single-phase versions of the DCE, and they can also be used with, or they are also suitable with preheated water. So this is not the big deal. You can use wherever you need to do, or you would like to use this. We have this in the 6 or 8 kilowatt version, or 10 or 12 kilowatt version. Number 4, the variants. The first variant here, you see the instantaneous water heater is placed in series to the hot water tank. So what do we have here? We have here the cold water inlet to our domestic hot water tank. Then we have the warm water outlet, and then we flow over the instantaneous water heater, and then we go to our tap. In this case, it's a shower. I used here a shower tap, but it doesn't matter. It could be any tap you would like to have, or all the system we have below. What is quite cool about this situation? In this case, in every situation when you tap, the water flows over the instantaneous water heater, so we don't have any dead lines. And this is quite important for the hygienic point of view, because when you have dead lines, the Legionella can grow in the instantaneous water heater, and this is not good for your health. and we don't want to have any deadlines. So, but what is the disadvantage about this solution? You are limited in the bulk capacity by the instantaneous water heater, because imagine you have here the heating element inside, and this is limited by the flow. In general, when we talk about the pressure of 4 bars in your line, there will be a maximum outlet flow in the premium versions with the 3-phase versions, maximum of 12, 13, 14 liter and not more. So the big benefit you have normally with a storage solution, that you have a very big bulk capacity, is limited by the instantaneous water heater. So this is the disadvantage about this solution, but the big advantage is you are, from the hygienic point of view, completely done, and it's all fine. And you have limitless domestic hot water, because when the inlet water is less than the set temperature here, for example, you would like to have an outlet of 50 degree here, so you set also here 50 degree. Then we measure, okay, it's just 43. Then we heat up just the 7 Kelvin up on this, and then we bring it to the tap. Quite cool solution, and I think this is for a lot of cases quite useful. The second version is here. You can integrate the instantaneous water heater into the hot water pipe in parallel. So you have now two ways. We have here the switching valve, and normally the hot water came out of the storage and goes directly to the tap. And now you think, okay, Lauren, you said a second before that we have to avoid deadlines. Exactly. That's the big challenge about this solution, because you can imagine, normally we say all the time, okay, we have to flow directly to the tap, because then we have the big benefit of the storage solution, that we have a very high bulk capacity, but we will never flow the instantaneous water heater. What could we do now? We use here not a normal switching valve, we can use a temperature controlled switching valve, and we set this switching valve 5 Kelvin under the set storage temperature. And then what happens? In first tapping, the water flows directly to the shower tap, and then we have a little bit of water here inside. This water cools down, and then the way is open to flow over the instantaneous water heater. When we tap now again, a bit flows over the instantaneous water heater, and then we go to the tap. What is the big benefit about this? We have just 0.4 liters in this instantaneous water heater. And when we start tapping, it's normally enough time that this one here is completely clean, that we don't have any legionellas in it. And then we can go directly to the tap here. This is the point. And now you have the combination of both benefits we had before. You can have this you have the limitless instantaneous water heater, because when we have lower temperature, then for example, we would like to have here an outlet of 50 degree, and here we set the valve to 45 degree. Then we have here temperature of 40 degree in the storage. Then the valve is open, we go over the instantaneous water heater, heat up the water, and have limitless domestic hot water with the lower bulk capacity. And the second version is, this temperature in the storage is high enough. We don't have to go over the instantaneous water heater, we go directly to the tap, and then we have the big bulk capacity. These are the two opportunities you have, but you have to take care extremely that you avoid here the deadline. And for this you have to install this extremely near to your storage. you have to set the temperature controlled switching valve here, or you can control it also by a controller or whatever, but you have to take care that this isn't a deadline, because if this is a deadline, you will have a problem with Legionellas, and you don't want to have this because it's very bad for your health. Okay, number 5. Let's summarize together the last 15 minutes. First of all, think about the general requirements. Observe the drinking water hygienic, and then you can also use the parallel version. Then you have both benefits, limitless domestic hot water and a high bulk capacity. Or if you say, okay, I want to be safe, completely safe by the hygienic side, then you have to use the version where you put the instantaneous water heater in series to the domestic hot water tank. Or if you say, I don't need so much flow rate, then you don't have to think about the parallel version. Then you can use the version where we put it in series, and then you have a very great opportunity to supplement your domestic hot water storage tank solution. So if you have any questions to this online semester, just send me an email, call me, whatever. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining, and hope I see you back again in one of our webinars, or hopefully see you back soon in real life. And enjoy the next online semesters. Have a nice day, take care, and see you soon.